I'm Will Sutton. I'm here with Eddie Francis. And if it's Thursday, you know what that means. We're welcoming none other than our very own Congressman Troy Carter. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, fine gentlemen. How are you today, Brother Eddie? How are you, Brother Will?
Fabulous,
Doing well.
fabulous. Well,
Fantastic.
you've had a busy stretch of a few days, but we have a development overnight I wanted to get you to weigh in on because we had a announced ceasefire for 60 days, but Mr. President says that's over, and now we have the U.S. attacking Iran and Iran attacking others. What are we doing?
Now, the president is once again taking America and Americans into harm's way by a war that he, in his mind, created without approval or consent or discussion with Congress as the Constitution provides. And we continue to see the offshoot of that. We see gas prices skyrocketing. We see not peace in the Middle East, but we see further unrest. We see soldiers put in harm's way. We see our economy a challenge. It's a mess, and there's no other way to look at it other than a president who thinks he knows foreign policy, but he doesn't, and world leaders, particularly our ordinary allies, are very fearful of what all this means for the national order of things.
Yeah, so this just seems to be a projected situation.
Well, from a president who says that he's going to, on day one, bring the price of household goods down, the price of milk, eggs, and rice down, the price of gasoline down. I don't need to tell you that all those things are exponentially higher. Also, the president said that he would prevent America from being in war. Criticized that if Kamala Harris had become president, we would be in war with Iran on day one. Well, looks like everything that he said, he did the flip on. He is the one that's brought us into war. He is the one that caused our economy to tank. He is the one that caused prices to go up. He's the one who's taking health care away from the American people. At some point, you must ask the question, I mean, is this guy a kamikaze pilot? Is he really here to crash and burn America?
Well, one of the things that happened from these latest attacks, no surprise, is overnight gas prices have increased by a nickel. And so now we have gas prices, the new average is $3.84 per gallon for the national average. And over in California, it's about $5.35. They always have higher prices, but they don't like to get into the $5 and $6 range. And we don't like to get into the $3, $3.50, and $4 range. So this is immediately having an impact on pocketbooks in your district and elsewhere.
Well, it's going to continue to get worse, I'm afraid. The instability that this president and his advisors bring to this discussion is damaging across the entire country, across the entire world, because no one knows what Donald Trump will do next. Our economy benefits from stability. Our NATO partners and our partners on all parts of the discussion benefit from stability. A president that has a word, a president that understands foreign policy, which is difficult. You're dealing with Iran. You know, it's an evil regime. There's no question. And the bravado, the bluff, take it back, bluff, take it back, bluff, take it back, is the worst thing you can do, because each time you make a bluff, you diminish your standing. And these guys are laughing. And the last thing you want to have is America, the laughing stock of the of the world.
Well, one of his objectives was to have a quick in and out and put Iran in its place. Another was to take out the top leadership, which for the most part seems to have been done, but certainly it wasn't quick, and to reset the oil and gas, and that certainly has not been set. And looks like they were quite surprised by the Iranians' control of Strait of Hormuz.
Well, we weakened our position in the Strait of Hormuz by, again, threatening to do something that we hadn't thought out. And now what you've essentially done is given Iran a stronger hold on the control of the strait. Now they understand even better than what they used to how much they hold in that regard. We've given them a chance to practice and to test. And now we're in a worse position than we were. President Trump thought it was going to be easy to just throw out the peace deal that was done and negotiated by President Obama and then come in and supplant it with his, except he didn't think it out. War requires thought, strategy, not only a way in, but a way out. You've got to contemplate all of the moving parts, and you can't go it alone. This is not ping pong. This is not a single player sport. You've got to go in with your partners in place. You've got to go in with a very precise plan. You've got to do the scenarios of if this, then that, so you know what to do, how to play. If the unthinkable happens, you've got to anticipate all of those things. This president didn't do that. He just created a knee-jerk reaction and just went in head first like a cowboy. Well, this isn't Rambo, man. This isn't Rambo. These are real American lives, and they're real ramifications to your reckless actions, and we're seeing that manifest itself.
Well, there are a lot of things that have happened and a lot of things going on, including continuation of redistricting efforts and Supreme Court rulings. And a number of those things and others meant that you participated with the National Urban League and some other black elected officials while you all were in town for some of the Essence Fest, and that happened during the 4th of July. And what is it that you all discussed, and why was it necessary to have everybody come together?
First of all, a huge shout out, kudos to the National Urban League for partnering with us to make this meeting possible, to bring together existing and former elected officials to talk about the attack on African American leadership, to talk about the attack on our voting rights, to talk about the things that we see unfolding in our country and also in our state, where we watch Calvin Duncan, duly elected clerk of court, and then have his seat taken away from him, to watch members of the bench, judges, at a time when we are seeing reductions in crime, to reduce judges on the criminal bench, criminal judgeships, when we see prosecutions doing what they're supposed to do, and that is locking up bad guys and making sure that they're not locking up people who are innocent. We don't need fewer DAs. We need more DAs. This governor took away essentially 10 DAs, which, is a significant blow to the DA, district attorney's operation. So we're watching these attacks on the city of New Orleans, on African American leadership, on the Voting Rights Act, on the reduction in our congressional footprint for African Americans in Louisiana. And so this emergency summit was an opportunity to come together with the elected and former elected leaders to continue to develop plans of action, to organize, galvanize, to get people to the voting polls, to have a a strategy on how we address these issues. We're not going to just sit back and kick rocks or be angry about it. We're going to do something, and that's what this meeting it was about and will continue to be about. And that is to organize our entire state, hear the tangible outcomes, organization, working with all of our stakeholders in the community. There is a place and a role for every single person to play a significant role in this operation of organizing, voting, educating, and sending messages to everyone, not just in word but in deed, that we're not going to sit back and let Donald Trump, the governor, anybody else take away our rights. So this opportunity to come together was a speaking and listening session to develop strategies on how to continue to build on voter turnout, voter education, voter registration. We know that we consistently see, unfortunately, dismal turnouts in elections. Dismal turnouts, 20-25%, leaves us with 80-75% of people that didn't vote. When we vote, we win, and the reverse is also true. We continue to lose ground because somehow we have the notion that a vote won't matter. But as I always say, when you don't vote, you just voted for the worst person on the ballot. And for people who didn't vote in the presidential election, you voted for Trump. I mean, that's the bottom line. And here's a president who told you exactly what he was going to do to you. They laid out Project 2025. They didn't hide it in the dark. And now they have been singularly, one by one, implementing page by page, parcel by parcel of Project 2025. Midterms are just around the corner. We take over midterms. We have an opportunity to start at least stopping the bleed of the effects of the big, ugly law that will strip away 17 million people's health care. That's ridiculous. It's unconscionable. But this is what this guy is doing, attempting to strip away our education department, remove environmental justice gains that we've made so people can breathe clean air and drink clean water. But it all comes back to voting. And so our effort to bring everyone together is a recognition that this is a all hands on deck time, and we need everyone involved.
So to have Mark Morial and you there was a powerful picture. But then there were others. I mean, it was like quite a gathering of folks, impactful folks, people who have really strong reputations, people who have done a lot and continue to do a lot. If you can give WBOK family of listeners an idea of who some of your colleagues in the summit were that morning.
Sure, I will tell you, there was Cleo Fields, my friend and colleague, member of Congress from Baton Rouge, was there. Of course, Mark Morial, myself, former Congressman Bill Jefferson, former Mayor Sidney Bartholomew, Kyle Green, state legislator, Byron Lee, councilman from Baton Rouge, former Supreme Court Justice Burnett Johnson, Irma Muse Dixon, Renee Gill-Pratt. We had the new chair of the Legislative Black Caucus, Candace Newell. We had the former chair of the Legislative Black Caucus, Edmund Jordan. We had new Senator Sidney Bartholomew III. We had Royce Duplessis. We had a number of members from C. Denise Marcel from Baton Rouge. We had a very strong gathering of current and present with Jason Hughes, a strong presence of present leadership, but we also had a strong presence of former leaders because, our former leaders have paid an ultimate price and have served and still have a great deal of institutional knowledge to to loan to this movement, and it is in fact a movement. It's not a one and done. It's not a just react to the moment, but it's react and proactive actions to continue to build forward, because we know that these actions from the Trump administration, these actions from the governor and others across our country who seem to be a part of a mission that dilutes and distracts our upward mobility, is not going to stop. And it didn't just start. There's been a very careful plan to come after progress. And we have to be equally as well adroit and studied and prepared to defend it. It can't be a one and done. And so I can't emphasize enough the importance of us all recognizing that there's a jersey for everyone to be a part of the team of fighting back against this attempt that we see across the board of trying to divide and conquer us, even with the notion that somehow because we're getting different Democrats elected who have different ideas or philosophies, that there's going to be a battle within the party. We've got to reject that foolishness. Anyone who comes into the Democratic Party and they've got, regardless of what their background, they've got bold ideas. They're left, center left, whatever. Man, we all have a responsibility to work together. And we all want to have these wars where we're wasting lives and taxpayers' dollars ended. We all want to see equal pay for women and a true living wage. We all want environmental justice. We all want to have the kind of opportunities where people are not starving, where people have health care and have an economy that works for them, safety in their communities. These are issues that are not unique to any one part of the party, but every one of us. And new members that bring great, bold ideas, let's take them all in. Let's work together. Let's demonstrate the importance of having a unified party and not allowing anybody to suggest or to create divisions. All right. We're not a monolith. We have different ideas, and that's a good thing.
All right, we're going to go to the phone line. Good morning, Aaron. You're on Will Sudden, Eddie Francis, and Congressman Troy Carter.
Good morning. How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me?
Fabulous.
Yep. Good morning, brother.
Yeah, you're right. Good morning, Grand Rise. First shout out to the Fatherhood Roundtable as well as the Hill Newton Gun Club. When you talk about the fight, I believe these people, they sit up there and play with y'all in the manner they do because they saw, how y'all lack of fighting when it came down to the Ronald Green situation, right? And by y'all not stepping up and doing what y'all needed to do and just allowing that to go on like that, I mean, that's why they take and do the things what they do and play with y'all how they play. Also, when it comes down to St. James Parish, we all know the nickname what they call that Cancer Alley. So where's the leaders when it comes to local issues, right? And we see what's going on right here in New Orleans. So we keep on hearing the thing about, when we vote, we win, things like that. But some of us, including myself, are voting, but yet we're not seeing the residual income from our vote. And I don't want you to think like there's no personal attack against you, Congressman. But what I'm saying is that where the fight needs to be at, the fight needs to be in those rooms when it's just some of y'all and those your other counterparts that we don't know about inside those meetings when those compromising deals begin to take place. Because if we really being honest, that's one of the reasons why we can't really get the necessary things in our communities that we need to get, because some of these backroom deals that's constantly being made, and that's why we can't move forward. And I'm going to stop right there.
All right, Lord's blessings. Thanks for calling, and have a great day. Congressman?
Brother, I hear you. I feel your frustration. And just know this. Some of us in those rooms, we're fighting our asses off. Some of us in those rooms, I will tell you, a day doesn't go by that I'm not swinging, that I'm not fighting, that I'm not pushing. And there are a whole bunch like me. I'm not suggesting I'm the only one because there's a whole lot of us on the local, federal, and state level. Unfortunately, just a lot more of them than there are of me and us. And that's why we got to continue to increase our numbers. You know, we find ourselves in a situation where we're losing ground because there are more of them than us. And I hear everything he says, man, and I feel your frustration and pain, and I share it. But I will tell you, and I know that's not what you want to hear, but the antidote is increase our numbers. We got to increase our numbers. You know, we're fighting with toothpicks, and they've got bazookas. But we're not running. We're taking our toothpicks and poking them in their eyes. Imagine if we had more people with us, or if we had more numbers, we can do even more. When you are operating with fewer tools, fewer resources, fewer people, fewer votes than the opposition, it's going to be a challenge. Any war that's lopsided is going to have a lopsided outcome. The difference here is that we might have a smaller army, but we've got a very vigilant and brave army of soldiers, and that's why we're constantly enlisting more to be a part of the plan to push back, to fight back. And no matter how outnumbered we are, one thing is for certain: we're never going to quit. We're never going to bow down.
All right, we got another phone call, talk line. You're on with Will Sutton, Eddie Francis, and Congressman Troy Carter, Reverend Calhoun.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I got a quick question, Congressman. Do you think it is a conspiracy to make this justice system in New Orleans fail by removing candidates, elected officials, by trying to get this fight between people within the community to fight one another, to take away money? Do you see any kind of strategic plan being applied from the state administration to make the justice system fail? If, as I see it, every component looks like is under attack. The governor has actually said that even if the attorney general is indicted and convicted, he's going to pardon her. So it does not seem like that they're here to help the city. It seems to me like there is a conspiracy to tear it down. So I'll just hear what you have to say concerning the attack that I feel is on New Orleans.
All right. Lord's blessings.
Right,
thanks for calling, Reverend Calhoun. Congressman?
Well, thank you once again, Reverend Calhoun, for calling in. I will tell you, our community is not foreign to people trying to undermine and set us up against each other. We can go back to the 60s with the FBI and the Black Panthers and the conspiracies that caused dissension within the African American community that were planted. So we know that conspiracies and to work and to infiltrate our communities is real. We know that there's been a us against them mentality between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. And there's always been this hate, jealousy, or whatever about the city of New Orleans, which is ridiculous because the city of New Orleans is the epicenter of our state. It is the economic engine for the entire state. The sales tax revenues that are derived from the city of New Orleans don't stay in the city of New Orleans. They fuel the entire state of Louisiana. Yet we continuously see this the stumbling blocks that come from Baton Rouge as it relates to the progress of New Orleans. And we see it now on steroids. Yeah, there's an attack on New Orleans. You can't say you want to see criminal justice carried out. You can't say that you want to have safe communities when you attack our judicial system. You can't say that you want fair and just elections when you undo an election that was fair and just. In the case of Calvin Duncan, you can't say that you want communities that are safe when you strip the district attorney of needed funding in order to have good prosecutions. You can't say you care about New Orleans when you veto literally millions and millions of dollars of programming that go toward the city of New Orleans and communities. So yeah, this is not just something to sit around and gossip about. This is real. It's tangible. You can see it. You can do the math. You can do the math on the stranglehold and the withholding of resources from the city, and ask yourself why. What are you doing? And the answer, I think, comes down, just like I say about President Trump. You're trying to reverse the script. You're trying to change the narrative from progress to demise. You can't look at a system where crime is going down and then say we're going to reduce your resources so you can't continue to have crime going down. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to say if you shut down criminal district court judges, if you take away district attorneys, if you take away resources to combat crime, that's not going to make crime go down. So what's your real mission? What are you trying to accomplish? You want to take over the city? You want to take over the country? You want to take away the power of the people who were duly elected and create some kind of dictatorship with you at the head of the ticket? Well, that's why we cannot sit back, and we cannot allow people to pit us against each other with being angry because progress isn't coming as fast as we like. One thing is for certain: if we do nothing, progress will go backwards. If we do nothing but fight to hold on to what we have, that's better than letting them go backwards. We're going to continue to fight for forward progress. We're going to continue to fight for safety, community, economic opportunity, protection of our communities. But that is not an easy battle, and there's no easy solution to it. We've got to stay awake. We've got to be vigilant. We've got to pay attention. We've got to be ever present, and we got to vote.
Congressman, I know you have just a few more minutes. I wanted to get your take on the Essence Festival. You were in and around, saw you several times, and made it over to the summit. But how was this Essence Festival for you? And, of course, this was the last Essence Festival under the current agreement, and that agreement expires in September. How was your Essence Festival experience, and what do you want us to think about?
I think Essence was fantastic. I mean, listen, and I have not gotten granular, but I will tell you from my experience, and I served on multiple panels and discussions and enjoyed the concerts and was all around town with almost every aspect. And, concerts were on time. For the most part, as much as a concert could be on time. You didn't have the long delays that you've had in the past. Sounds like, it looks like Essence heard the complaints and they did something about it. And I will tell you, dollar for dollar, even with the hiccups of the last few years, Essence is a winner for the city of New Orleans and the state of Louisiana. And like we invest in the Sugar Bowl, Super Bowl, the myriad of conferences that come here every year, Final Four, other concerts and other activities and other festivals that fill our hotel rooms and fill our restaurants and fill our fiscal coffers with sales tax dollars. We have to invest. Listen, the slide that Essence started seeing is commensurate with the reduction of resources that the state presented. When you stop giving the financial inducements that help these large-scale investments produce, you start to see what happens. Listen, if we're going to invest in every other thing that comes here, we invest in companies to bring their businesses here. Essence brings significant economic power to our local community, to our state community, to every single parish in the state of Louisiana. I think Essence was fantastic. Like any large-scale operation, there's always room for improvement. But from a cultural standpoint, an entertaining standpoint, an economic development standpoint, an empowerment standpoint, a significant entity for the city of New Orleans and the state of Louisiana, we've got to do everything in our power to pony up, to make the investment in making sure that they stay and that we have a long-term commitment. Atlanta, Chicago, Houston would all love to have Essence Festival. We can't be short-sighted. We have to have a vision, and our vision has to be not letting Essence leave this community at a time when the city of New Orleans needs the resources more than ever, and the importance of cultural recognition of what Essence means to our community in a multiracial, multicultural way. I thought Essence was great. There's always going to be issues that need to be tweaked, but tell me when there hasn't been. Tell me what event goes off that doesn't have issues. The most important thing is issues that were brought to Essence attention, by and large, appear to have been addressed. I don't know if they're 100% correct in every single way, but I don't know anything that is. I know this. The state of Louisiana made a whole lot of money because Essence was here. And you cannot reap what you don't sow. And we have to sow our seed into Essence to make sure that they have the resources they need so we can continue to enjoy the sales taxes that it provides for our communities.
All right. We're at the end of the time. I know you got some other things to do, but I do want to give you a moment to speak to the legacy of State Senator Larry Selders. I saw your comment, but since you are here with the WBOK family of listeners, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Larry Selders, Senator Larry Selders, an outstanding young man, just 44 years old. I served with Larry when I was in the state Senate and he was in the state House. Of course, later he elevated to the state Senate. A gentle giant. I mean, really, just to know him is to have known a friend, because that's the kind of guy he was. Just a very pleasant, sweet spirit, a dedicated leader, a husband, a father, two beautiful sons, a beautiful wife he leaves behind. I saw him just Thursday night at our kickoff, pre-Essence kickoff party. And I said, man, you need to slow it down. He said, I'm slow. I'm being slow, Congressman. I just wanted to get some fresh air. My doctor said, it's okay. I said, well, God bless you, brother. Take your time. Be safe. We need you. That's the last words I had with him. He's a good man. He'll be sorely missed. He was a great legislator, great father, great leader. And his legacy will live on through the rest of us who are left behind. We can all take a page from his book. He was a serious legislator. He was a strong family man, strong leader, but he was just a good human being. Right. You know, he was a good human being. So prayers out to his wife, his children, his family, to all who knew and loved him. Let's continue to the work that he's done in the greater Baton Rouge area and throughout the state and country. We need more Larry Selders.
All right, Congressman, there were a number of other people who wanted to talk to you this morning, but I thought it was really important that you answer the questions that were asked and give you time to talk about the state of the nation. So my guess is that some of them will call at another point during the show, and I know sometimes some of your team have a chance to listen in. But thank you so much for the time that you have provided to the Good Morning Show, and thank you for your work.
God bless you, my friend. God bless you both. God bless WBOK. God bless the listening audience. Have a fantastic week. Look out for each other.
Have a great day.